What's up, everybody? Derek Lambert here. Hit the like, subscribe, share, check out the description. I figure I'd bring the wife in, got her on the camera, and wanted to ask her just a couple questions that you guys have been asking and wanting to know what it was like, dealing with me while I was in active addiction, and how did you make it through?
It's very hard to deal with them. At first, I guess I knew something wasn't right. I knew that he was on pills, at least. For a while there, I suspected that it was more, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. I'd never expected him to go down the road that he went, with it being something that you injected. He was terrified of needles. So I definitely did not expect that at all. But I just kept searching, and after like a week or two of really like trying to notice certain things to see where it was different, and he was hanging out with people I knew did heroin, and of course they would never tell me anything. So finally I remember asking him, we were in this room, and I remember asking him to let me see his arms. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to show me, and I knew. So I cried for about a week. Something about me that most people don't know is that I have a...
What's wrong, baby? Sorry. What do you have, baby?
I'm just going to tell him about my dad.
About the fact that he's also struggles, or with what?
Like where he's at, why.
You want me to? Okay. So her dad's in prison. He's struggled with addiction his whole life as well. I think our entire family's, hers and mine, has been affected by addiction. And this is the whole point of this platform. Haters are going to hate, and look, bye. I don't care about the haters. We're here for the love. But her dad is right now on strike 3 down in Florida. He has strike 3 for manufacturing and distributing heroin. And this disease is real. It's as real as me and her right here talking. And she doesn't get to see her dad. We haven't seen him in years, but he writes letters, and you could tell the institution has really taken a hold on him. And when we found that news out, it broke her down. So she's finding out her husband's on heroin. He's shooting up. She didn't think I'd come back. Her dad gets strike 3. Her brothers, my brother, everybody's been affected by it. And how'd you pull through? You don't even know how, huh?
No, just...
You just love me.
I knew you were going to, do what you wanted to do, whether I, told you it was okay or not. Obviously, it was not okay with me. And I knew that I had to be there because, you're an extremist. And I knew if I wasn't there to at least dictate how much you could spend or have, or, made it very hard for you, that I could possibly save your life, And at some points I wanted to leave you because I didn't want to deal with it, and then I couldn't,
And then at the end it got so bad, it was breaking into our own house.
Yeah, at the end it got to the point to where he was, stealing everything we had. He was pawning things before I would get home from work, and then would pawn them out so that I wouldn't know. Sometimes he'd pawn things that he, thought he could get away with pawning, and sometimes he did get away with it. Stealing from people. It just got to the point to where that's all he lived for. And so for some reason, you know, obviously not for some reason, but somebody called Child Services and reported him. I was not listed in the report at all. However, as a mother, you know, I had to deal with that, and at that point, that's when I had to decide it was him or our children, and I decided that he had to go. And so at that point, he left, and he was gone on the streets for about 2 weeks, and you know, constantly trying to get him to get clean, get off, trying to help him, giving him ultimatums, and finally, one day he did. Yeah. I mean, it was a struggle, but he made the decision he knew.
And I didn't even want it.
No, you
That's the crazy part, is I didn't want it. I bribed Mom into giving me $140. She told me, if you go, and I just made this video on this, if you go to this lady's house, then you'll do it. And that's when I started to wake up. The sad part is I was blind this whole time from the addiction. As soon as the drugs started to leave my body, I started to think clear again and realizing I had made some serious mistakes. I needed really help. And even the lady was telling me, she's like, don't worry about your kids. You're going to die. You know, and I was like, what? How can I not? Like, who in their normal right mind cannot worry about their kids? I got to get my kids back. I told her. I mean, I fought that. You know, I was like, no, I'm going to get, you know, I did what I had to do. But I was lucky to not end up losing my children or causing us to have problems with our kids. I was lucky enough to not end up in prison or jail because of failing of my PO. My parole officer would have urinalysis me and caught me. Somehow I skipped out on all those urinalysis without getting in trouble, because while I was on probation, I wasn't on the worst condition of probation because it was just a larceny felony charge. I mean, I'm laying it out there for you guys, so I hope to save someone. But the truth is, the wife had dealt with hell with me in my addiction. We would fight. I mean, I would go in her purse while she was in the middle of the night sleeping and grab $20 because I was so desperate, you know.
Or when I was awake, you'd grab money. And during that time, I was really sick then when I, you know, couldn't walk. Some, you know, medical conditions, having a hard time. So, you know, he obviously can overpower me anyway, so he definitely could overpower me. You know, just lots of struggles and lots of issues, lots of bumps in the roads, and, you know, but he's alive today, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, once, I think, when I found out, the reason I cried for that week was because I knew your personality, and I knew, like, I just had this feeling that now that he was on heroin, there was no going back. I didn't think he was ever going to be able to get out of it.
And I didn't know either. But I set my mind, and others told me that they had made it. Here I am today. So that's just giving you a little bit of insight from the wife. You guys have been asking for a long time, and, you know, it's just the right opportunity struck. So you got to hear it from the horse's mouth, what she had to deal with, and she just loved me, and she tried her best in every way, in every moment, her best to try and deal with it. I don't think there's an easy solution. I don't think there's just a one-way answer. It's so complex and difficult, but, you know, this is a family disease, and this is why we care so much on trying to help people with addiction. So show love in the description, and also the website will be released soon. So I appreciate y'all. That's going to be Rewired Addiction, and thank you, baby. I love you. All right, y'all. Till the next video. Peace.